Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. I'm Cindy Cochran. That works out well, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Okay, so anyway, we are just going to have the best show today. Richard's going to interject, as he always does, with his sweet self if he stopped eating long enough to do that. And then we have a guest, special guest, because we're going to promote Richard's show. And he's going to, and this guest gets to be on, but
it's not just my show.
It's yours.
It's
and his
our show.
It's yours.
The way you introduced it made it sound like it's my show. And
on Richard's show, this is a guest on my show, and when you and this guest have your show, are you going to have me on that show to promote this show?
You don't get up that early, Cindy.
No, y'all don't. When do you?
And you don't stay up that late either.
When? That's a big lie. But you record it anyway. So what difference does it make what time it is of the day? You wouldn't have something real early.
Well, Andrew and I will come to your house and we'll record it at your house, and we'll do it where you're on the ground for 6 hours. That's where we'll do it. Because if you didn't know that, Andrew, she fell and no one found her for 6 hours.
Oh my. Help! I've fallen. I can't get up. It was that kind of scenario. And
Richard, we shouldn't be making light of that.
Well, I'm here though.
Sounds serious.
I'm here, and it's okay. I condone you making light of it.
Well, it's not my fault. She does methadone like every night.
Good grief.
I'm kidding.
No,
I do worry about you, Cindy, and I worry that your family. This is a call out to your family not checking up on you.
Well, it was, but it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was asleep, and everybody had their
you didn't have like a cowbell?
an airplane app on, or a
airplane
thunderstorm.
mode, maybe.
No, thunderstorm app on.
Oh.
They had all that going on, and so it sounds like a 747.
But you live out in the country. Why do you?
747 taking off in a thunderstorm is what it sounds like in our house at night. So they couldn't hear me, and it was really sad. And I could not get up. I had been holding off on trying to check out what this infection was. I just putting it off, and coming to the show and help spreading it to everybody.
I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm still coughing up stuff. I'm just glad I'm younger.
Good grief!
Right?
Just spray.
So this is the same thing you had is what she had.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've already seen you since then. I feel like I'm.
This is a
I'm
while
fairly
back.
immune. Yeah.
This is a while back. This was a month ago. I feel like.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But I just kept putting off.
But that's where we're going to do the interview, though. We're going to go to the spot where you laid for 6 hours, and we'll put tape out. We'll
reenact it.
I'm still interested in this airplane mode you have at your home. This
I
sounds amazing.
Don't you?
Are you making a joke because you live by an airport? Or are you making...
it's an app that you sleep with. You want to hear.
Okay, it's like a white noise machine, basically, and you can
the
select different noises, and one of them is probably an airplane going overhead.
and
Because
there's
let me tell you,
thunderstorm.
nothing more relaxing than airplanes flying over your head.
Well, they're not. You are in the airplane, and you're looking out the window, and it's just the sound of what happens in the.
Especially if you're British.
In the airport. What? Especially what?
That shot over my head. Too.
If you're British, they love the sounds of airplanes over their heads.
Oh my, that's a war reference. I think
you like that. You like that.
No, I don't like it.
That was good.
I think you should shut up. No, anyway, so it was just too noisy, so they couldn't hear me. So I laid there, and I had just fallen, and I fell on top of my lab, laying on this big pillow.
Wait, the dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
the dog. I tried to
And
get up out of
it didn't
bed,
make a noise.
and I fell over, and the dog just looks at me like, "What are you doing?"
Well, yeah.
This is my bed, and so.
Did you have a bonding moment?
What?
You have a bonding moment?
No, the dog was probably worried about getting an infection.
No, no, the dog was trying to Okay, hurry up, get up. And so I had to push myself off. I was trying
Cindy,
to get.
we don't have to talk anymore about this.
Come on, it's
Terrible.
It's a great
This is all news to
story.
me, though.
Okay,
Sounds terrible.
I'm trying to.
I just like making fun of her.
I'm trying to garner
I've noticed.
Andrew's. Oh, I haven't told you yet who's here. See, you're getting me off
Introduce
track. I'm
introduce
like
me,
the
please.
substitute teacher.
I
at
demand.
school.
I demand to be introduced.
Well, first I have to talk to the sponsor. The sponsor is Wootton Financial Group.
There we
and
go.
Chris Wootton is the CEO of that, and he's so sweet, so kind, and all he wants to do is to help you with your money, to get your more money for you, and to also make sure that you feel secure about your money, and to take it out from under the mattress and take it and put it in places. He will do all that for you. You don't have to worry anymore. You can go on your vacations. You can go do your stuff, and it'll be fine.
You know what's funny?
So what?
I was thinking, we're at the story. Audience of One is a show that's every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio, and we recorded right before this show. And we were talking about a funny story about a family member found a dead member's, was it a million pennies?
800,000 pennies. they found
800,000
in their
pennies
house. Yeah.
in the house. And I wonder if Chris Wootton,
What would he do? With
what
that?
would he
Yeah.
do
What
with
would his-
800,000
What would his
pennies?
advice be? You know.
Get you a big piggy bank.
Well,
No, I think he'd
the
make
bank
you-
wouldn't take it.
Yeah, the bank wouldn't take
No,
it. Simply too much.
It has
right?
to be
They
rolled.
don't want to mess with it.
You have to roll it
Right,
first.
right. And they didn't want to take it to Coinstar either because, well, that takes 8%, you know, even though they
Well,
found this money to
that's
begin
right.
with.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be an easy. You just be so upset. People would be so upset with you standing in line waiting for you to finish counting.
Well, that'd be a
the
question
money.
to pose to him. Though. What would you do with 800,000 pennies that you found in the basement of a deceased relative?
My audience doesn't answer
They
questions.
probably
like-
actually have.
No, I'm saying
they-
Wootton, Chris Wootton. You can ask him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your sponsor, who does a great job finding out what
Right.
to do, be smart with your money,
Yes.
and that's a great question.
Yeah.
roll them. Right, he'll just say roll it up because the banks aren't.
Well,
going to take it.
could he do that for us?
No, it's not going to
4%.
roll
Is
it
that,
up
is that
for you.
not a service?
4%.
Yeah,
I'll give him 4%.
Yeah, you can undersell
Yeah,
the Coinstar.
I'm not doing Coinstar.
Yeah.
Undercut the.
You know, was it
It's like
you-
8-minute abs and doing them in 7.
Who was
right?
it that told me the story about the Coinstar scam?
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when I was in college, there was an acquaintance. I didn't actually know them. It was an
I
acquaintance.
haven't
who had-
introduced you yet. Could you hold
We already
off
said that.
for-
We host a show called Audience of One every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio. All the
No.
links are provided for Audience of One. Subscribe right now, podcast, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So now we can continue on with the story.
You know, you
No, you
talk
gotta
too
let
quickly
Cindy
you talk too quickly for my
properly
audience. You know
introduce.
that.
Oh,
You
man,
have to
Cindy,
talk
I
a
wanted to
little
get to
bit
the
slower.
story.
Andrew Belshner
Correct.
is with us
Close
today.
enough.
And he is the one that is doing this new show. And it's new. How long
Newish.
have y'all been on?
6 months.
6 months.
I just
okay.
found out it was 6 months.
Yeah, you said we had 12
felt like-
shows. I'm
I felt like it's
you
been
know,
like-
or twice that many.
3 weeks.
That's amazing. How I'm sure it's really good because you don't even realize how fast it's gone by.
It's phenomenal. The show, if you have not been consuming this, the show, you need to be.
Okay, so this is Andrew Belshner. I'm so happy to have you here and to meet you and
Yeah, thank you for
get
having
to
me.
find out what
Absolutely.
goes on.
I listen
with
to your show quite
Richard.
often anytime I can. You know, I listened a few months ago when your husband was on. That was pretty fascinating. He's an
Oh,
interesting
yes.
guy.
He
I,
is.
I love how for about the first 20 minutes of the show, he just sat there and didn't really say much with his arms crossed. I thought, this guy is the
He's
worst guest
mad.
ever. And then he opened up and it was amazing. You know, hearing him talk about growing up in Houston in the 1940s without any air conditioning.
Right.
You know, and here we are, it's 100 degrees outside right now, and I'm complaining because there's just a little bit of sweat on my back and the air conditioner's not working properly in here. And he's
Well,
like,
it never will. I'm convinced Lone Star Community Radio is cursed. Wherever we go, we always have AC issues, no
Right,
matter what.
Right.
you know,
Like I remember, do you remember when they renovated the old space where they were doing stuff? And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to fix the AC.
Yes.
For some
while you're up
reason,
there. Yeah,
well,
this-
they found out, you don't have a return. So all that air is
Yeah, that-
staying in there. So that was nice.
that'll do it.
And then the landlord was like, we're going to put an AC unit just for your space.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when they installed it, he realized, we need to add it to other spaces too. So we were at the end of the install, we were the last ones on the line.
Right.
So all that cold air is being blown through like 4 other spaces, and then it'll get to us. And I'm like, we're never going to get AC in here.
Nope.
You know,
It's
you know,
always
they-
gonna-
what they don't do a lot of times is they don't put it to where it drops down. The air drops down and not have it
Are you an-
blowing
are
in.
you an
because
AC
you're on
person?
radio and you don't want to have it blowing into the
That's true.
There and
I'd
the
rather
sound.
I'd rather have the noise blowing and be cold than to be sticky and no air blowing.
Oh, I bet that's not true.
Because I
You're
can.
going to say, what is that sound? That sound is too loud.
I thought that was you breathing.
So to answer your question,
He
yes,
said
we've
quit
been
bleeding.
we've been
Oh,
on
yeah.
the air now 6 months. We started in I guess it was February 12th with the show called Audience of One. I didn't actually come up with the name. I gave Dick a list of probably 12, 15 different show names, all of which were just money. And he said, no, and gave me various reasons as to why those wouldn't work. And then he said, I think I just was telling him basically the concept of the show was musings, thoughts, conversations that I normally have with myself, except it's just to an audience of one. And he looked over at me and he said, that's the name. And I went, okay.
Well, I thought
there you
he-
go. It was actually much more organic than.
I thought he was being
what I
really
was coming with.
transparent with the audience.
No, we have two,
because-
actually.
yeah,
Two very loyal listeners.
No, we have random people too.
Yeah, well, our show sort of appeals to the randomness.
Yeah.
It would be so much fun if you could come back with the phone calls. We could have phone calls again. That
Well,
was
we
so
can.
Much fun.
Can on your show.
What?
For
oh
sure.
yeah, because you're. Oh
Yeah,
okay.
We have a message line.
No, I mean live. They.
Oh, we cannot
say,
do that.
Okay, Cindy, I've told this person.
Weren't
we'll
you
kill 'em if they
weren't
do
you
that.
on the show with me when that guy started cursing?
No, wasn't
No,
me.
Wasn't you?
Yeah, by the way,
That's when I got rid of the phone line.
I wasn't given any rules as to what I can and can't do on live radio. Is cursing, is that frowned upon as well?
Yes.
Should I not do
Sure.
that?
Yeah, cursing's just frowned upon in general, especially in front of Cindy.
Oh,
What
I
words
thought
can
you
I
were
not
gonna
say?
You can say dick.
Schisler.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
All right.
Cindy cannot say it
Right.
No,
No,
I
I noticed
cannot
you are
say it.
on this show. You are Richard.
You are Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Richard.
because she has a lot of respect for me.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's it.
She doesn't even call me by my name.
That's right. It's not.
We're not going
I'm not
there.
gonna say. Okay. Anyway, actually, we'll give you a number to call, and he'll kind of school you on what you can and can't say. His name is Dennis O'Connor, and it'll be great. So he,
Oh yeah.
bless his heart, he tries so hard when he comes on the show not to say bad words, and it just
It's pretty funny.
it's part of his. It's just
Well,
part of his.
oddly enough, your name is actually what caused me to go up and talk to you for the very first time. You probably don't even remember this. We were shocking at the bowling center one night, and he was bowling on a pair or two over, and I looked up at his name, and I'm like, that is the coolest name I've ever heard in my entire life. So I actually went up and said something to you about your name. I don't remember if
Could
or
you
I don't know if you
pronounce it?
remember.
Yeah, and then I had to tell him I was straight. After a while, I was like, "This
Was it
guy's
that obvious?
hitting on me,
Was it that obvious?
and this is gonna get real awkward."
But I didn't know.
Why does this always happen to me?
Well, I didn't know at the time, one, that he was, on the radio, had a radio station. I had no idea. I'd never met you before. And I think I even made the comment about, that's a solid name. And you made some offhanded comment about, yeah, it works great on the radio. And I didn't put two and two together. And then probably about a year or two later, we're at, I guess it was a birthday party for him at Topgolf. And I said something to him about, how's the radio station going? And he said, oh, it's going good. And I said, man, I'd love to be on the radio, And I think your response at that time was very cocky. Yeah, a lot of people do. And I was like, okay, well, there went that, right? I'm hoping for any sort of just spot. Let me be on and play radio with you. And then lo and behold, a few months later, I guess it was the time you were trying to get this studio up and running. And a lot of the shows that had been previously doing shows weren't able to record or weren't able to produce. And so there were some openings. And I had already been thinking about this, doing a show, some type of radio for a while. And I said, man, this is just too much of this is just fate. So I reached out to Dick and said, hey, I have an idea for a show. And in typical Dick fashion, he does not reply back to me for about 4 days. And I thought, okay, I get it. I get the message. I'm not going to be on your radio station.
I don't
Others
text.
as you'd have them do.
And then-
I don't text.
He did reply back eventually and said, okay, I got an idea too, and the rest is history. I think we met up at Red Bricks and hashed the idea out for this show.
We met our first guest there.
Audience of one show. We did.
Did?
Yes. He actually ended up being our third guest, but he was our first
Well,
guest
he
booking.
couldn't be. Yeah,
Right.
He's a brewer. He's
Yeah.
one of those brewer guys, probably high, but it's like
No, he's not.
I'm
Shout out
kidding.
to Ingenious
That was
Brewery,
good
by
beer.
the way.
That was good beer.
Matthew Black, if you're listening,
I
wonderful
wanna,
guest.
I also want to let the audience know if you're interested in doing a show. All shows are welcome as long as it has something to do with the community. And
Yeah, ours is community.
we talk about
centric.
community events, what
Yeah.
we do around town.
May not be exactly this community always, but
Yes.
we're from the community, so that's got
You
to count
are?
for
Okay.
something. We're both
Yeah.
local.
So reach out, lscrstudios@gmail.com, irlonestar.com.
or if you'd like to be a guest on my show. As you see, anybody can be a guest on this show.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
you're
hold on. I thought this was a place of prestige over here. See, I'm normally in your spot, and it was very strange to sit over here. But now you're telling me anybody can do this,
Her
huh?
guest canceled. That's why you're here.
Well, yeah, I know that.
No. We will welcome all of you. It doesn't matter.
She says that now. Wait
whether
till the end of
you
the
are-
hour. She's like, that guy's never coming
All right,
back.
Cindy, who's the worst guest you ever had?
I got to be in the running. I have to be.
No, the show's not over yet.
Do you know who it is?
I'm trying to remember. Like, I don't know if it's on your show particularly, but there's a guy running for some type of office. And it was almost to the level of, like, it wasn't dog catcher, but it was like, it was just like the simple thing. And he started going on this rant about abortion. And I remember in the middle of the talk, I had to look it up. I'm like, does this have anything to do with what he's running for? And it was like, it had nothing to do. Like, it was like county clerk seat something, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's just going on and on about it.
You gave him the platform, though.
And, I did. And I was just like,
go.
that was probably the worst interview because I was like, I had nothing else to say. I was like, that's cool. Like, at the end of the round, I was like, that's cool. What else is going on?
Great, dude. Cool
else is
story,
going
bro.
on?
Yeah. I was like, that's why they should elect you because of that? Like, are you voting on that stuff?
I think the politicians are sometimes, like you have no idea what kind of personality. Because
Yeah.
they've got one mission in mind.
Sure.
And I'm trying to let the people know their background and who they are and what kind of ice cream they like to eat. Or those kind of things that are important to know about somebody.
Or do they like to do their drugs?
At the White House. Everybody does.
You want to talk about that again?
It's funny. Cindy called me when that happened. She goes, "What is cocaine?"
Stop it. I've never heard of such a thing.
No, but so who was it, Cindy? Come on, who is it?
I can't. I don't know. I would hate to say somebody's name because I probably have to call him. Next
Chances
week
are
and
you
say,
have
"Would you come on?"
absolutely no idea who it is.
No, they're. A lot of times though, I've been doing this since 2012 is when I've got programs on, and so after I interview somebody, a lot of times it's like, listen, yes, you're gonna be back. Of course, you're gonna be back. What was that name again? What was his name? and it's terrible, and I have terrible time with names. I want everybody to wear a badge or something when they come in here.
I remember one when you
to
had.
remember.
Remember that restaurant manager? He kept looking at his phone the whole time.
Kirk?
No. We don't. No. I am. We're not gonna say names. I just remember this one particular guy. He was so disinterested in promoting his restaurant, and then also talking to you.
Yeah.
It was almost like his wife was giving birth or something, but he didn't want to say that, so he was just kind of like looking down, just kind of like yeah. The restaurant the hours of operation are on just search it on Google.
Wow.
It was intense. I was like, is this guy is he not supposed to be here? And I was during your show, and you were trying so hard.
So hard, sweating. Trying to get this person. I mean, and I don't check the time.
Do you remember what he said? We don't want people to come and do DoorDash or whatever.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. That hurts. It's so recent. Stop it. Yeah.
He legit told her because she's like, oh, do you guys do since COVID and delivery? He's like, oh yeah, we do offer that, but just don't do that. Please don't call and just come to the restaurant. We don't want DoorDash.
Yeah. Oh, it was so.
I loved
He was
it.
very condescending, and had zero personality, and it was difficult. But I think.
Well, that's what happens, Cindy, when your rules to get on your show are anybody can be a guest.
Oh no!
I mean, maybe
no,
you need
it's just
to.
a bad day.
Maybe
or
you
something.
need to have
something clearly was
stipulations
going
here.
on because
No, I just want people to know that I love everybody. I mean, anybody can come on. People think that I'm conservative and that I'm a Republican, and they think, oh, she would never want me to come on because
can't tell by the way you dress.
Democratic. In black. All the
Yeah.
time in black. Yeah. No.
You got all those picket signs in the back of your car. Always protesting something.
True. But I mean, I want to be transparent and say, that I'm a conservative. That's okay. I mean,
Sure.
and
It's
if
your
you're-
radio show. You can
and
do
if
whatever you
you're
want.
A liberal, that's okay. You're wrong, but that's okay. It's okay. So I'd love to have anybody come on and we can discuss anything. I mean, anything. In fact, he really came up with the best name for the show whenever it's just he and I.
Mm-hmm.
It's ask me anything, because that's truly what I believe either one of us believe, that you could ask me anything and I could talk about it.
I will say that
rest
some
of
of
the
your
hour.
some of your best shows are the ones where he just kind of fills in and you guys just riff for about an hour.
Yes.
Those are fairly entertaining.
That's what Audience of One is.
Yeah, I was going to say, basically, our show is kind of a version of that. I do have a rundown of stories that kind of cross my mind or I heard during the week that we'll talk about, but a lot of it's just musings,
on
banter.
tangents.
Yeah, tangents. It's just kind of fun stuff. I really looked at the lineup of what he had on IR Lone Star, and I thought, there's a gap there. There's a need for some craziness, so
Yeah.
maybe it'll fill the void, and I've had a blast with it so far.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun. You should check the show out, Cindy.
I will with all of my listeners. I'll bring over and have them listen to you guys. And
Well,
then,
what I love is the articles he finds. I would say about 90% are just
Clickbait.
Well, no, it's like if you just read the headline, I'd be like, it's fake news. That's not a real article, and it is. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, no, it's
it's
sad.
random. Like today on the recording, we were talking about a quadriplegic who's really good at cornhole,
A world champion. He's ranked like 34th
he's-
in the world. It's amazing.
wow.
and he has no arms or legs.
Yeah.
And he's playing cornhole, or what's another name? Like the
Is he-
audience might not know what it's called.
Beanbag toss.
Yeah, beanbag, whatever
Basically,
that
you know,
is.
Yeah.
You know,
cornhole's
you know what cornhole is?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure. Oh, that's right. You have that ambience music thing. You have a cornhole option. I forget.
Just the
Yes.
bag.
Just the
thunk,
bag hitting
thud,
the thing. I
thud.
always forget that.
No, I think
That was our feel good story of the moment. A lot of times
Is
they're a
your
little more
feel-good?
they're a little more odd than that.
Is he
but
tossing it with his mouth?
No, he does have some arms.
Just
no-
nubs.
From about his forearms down, there's nothing and no legs, and so he kind of puts his hands together. Well, no hands, sorry, his nubs together.
He puts his nubs
and just
together.
throws it, and he's extremely good.
So he doesn't have any artificial.
No,
Nope.
well, he might, but he doesn't use them while he's playing, anyways. Not to the video that we saw. So
Well, see that's like when I went to a bowling. They had you'll love this. I went to a bowling tournament, and they had asked me to come, and they wanted me to sign. And I said, "Why do you want me to come sign for this tournament?" And they said, "Because it's all deaf people." And I went, "Really?" And I went, "Okay, that was interesting." So I went, and this guy is bowling, and he bowls, and it hits the strike, and I don't notice the fact that he doesn't have any hands, but he's using, the
hooks.
the hooks. He's using the hooks
Yeah.
and bowling with that. So he comes over to me, and he goes, he's like, "Hi, I know you from TV." Now he can't say, do it the letters TV, but he says,
So he was signing
I
with
know
his
you.
hooks.
He was signing, but he wasn't spelling anything. He was
Right.
just-
Okay.
So we had this conversation, and it was great. It was so much fun. He was, he was just very cool about that. So I was like, this is the bowling thing. I forgot was a real big deal with the deaf people. They really liked the bowling thing, and it's so noisy in a bowling alley. It's so noisy, but it's not with them in there, and they don't. And whenever somebody does something good, they just shake their hands like that, and that means you did great. So it was interesting. You just never know who you're going to meet at different places like that, and you realize that a handicap.
I met this
is-
guy. I mean,
Well, and he didn't even have a handicap. He was just like,
well, he has a handicap.
oh, well, true,
It's
he
exposed quite a bit on our show.
does. I thought it was called issues, but that's.
Well, some
That's
people call it
okay.
issues, some people call it a handicap.
Yeah.
Does he like to?
Man, being dyslexic, you get
he's
like
just,
persecuted. Just because I have dyslexia, you guys make fun of me?
No, there's plenty of other reasons to
Oh.
make fun of you.
That's
Dick.
how
Don't
I'm
worry
just
about it. I
saying.
have
You're making
never-
fun of my disability?
I have never made fun of your dyslexia. I have lots of other things to make fun
No.
of.
No, never. Well, tell me. I want to know. Like now, do you have a family?
I do.
How many children do you have?
2. I've got an older boy, 22, daughter 15, almost 16, and
What?
and a wife.
You have a son, 22.
Yes, active duty Navy. That's correct.
I thought you may be like 20, 21 years old. Oh my
I got
goodness!
a kid older than that.
Do you go out with your son?
Well, I mean, he's not here. He's deployed, so no. But I mean, when he is
When he's
here,
here.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all probably get mistaken for.
We're just
like
the spitting.
brothers.
Oh yeah, spitting images of each other.
Yeah.
No
it's just-
way.
No.
Is he real tall?
Oh, like I am.
I
very,
didn't
very
even,
tall.
I didn't
yes.
even know you had kids.
Oh, come
You
on now.
didn't?
Come on
I didn't
now.
even know he was married.
Shut
See,
up.
you're not a good
So full of
interviewer.
it.
You have to be interviewed by.
Well, he's never interviewed
professional.
me because we're co-hosts together.
Yeah.
His job isn't to interview me.
He's
his job is to
constantly
get
asking
his.
questions.
Because Cindy, we do the show together.
The show is called
It's
Audience
not-
of One.
it's not
with
my show.
with Andrew and Dick.
Yeah, it's not my show.
Okay, I'm not
Okay.
trying to make him a subordinate to you or anything like that.
Well,
I just,
you're certainly making it sound that way.
no, I just wanted to find out what his
Yeah,
background
no,
is.
I have a family. I moved to this area about 5 years ago for a job that I'm no longer employed by choice, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I
Do you really have to tell people that?
well,
Does that
yeah,
make you
yeah. I mean, because otherwise it's like, oh, he moved here and then he got fired. That poor guy. No, I left by
It's
choice.
TMI, dude.
But anyways, yeah. So I moved here about 5 years ago for a job.
From
and, I lived previous to that in Fort Worth. I lived there for quite a long
okay.
time. Before that, I lived in Central Texas, where I went to school at Southwest Texas State. It was Texas State at the time. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley, way down southern tip by South Padre Island.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So you've probably seen more of Texas than someone who's lived here 74 years.
I've lived
That's amazing.
anywhere but basically west. I haven't lived in West Texas, but east, south, central, and I guess north Texas, yeah.
And this is his favorite place, he said.
I sure, because we are on
Lone
Lone Star Community Radio in Montgomery County. This is my favorite place I've lived in Texas.
See, I told y'all it was good, but Willis is better. No, I don't want anyone to move to Willis because we got enough people. Just don't.
Right.
I had the people from Woodlands Hills on this morning.
You did.
On
Yeah.
your morning show?
Yeah. I for some reason I got it confused with Wolf Forest. And then when she started talking about it, I was like, wait a second. That's Willis. Well, when you talk about planned communities, I get a little like what's considered a planned community? It sounded really cool though.
Starts with a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't think
It was
Willis
a good
ever started.
interview. I learned so much about what Howard Hughes Corporation's doing.
Wasn't the Woodlands the very first master plan community in the entire United States, correct? Back in
I guess.
1978.
Like, is that something you fill out on a form? Like, who designates that? Because I feel like everyone who's building a community has a plan.
Now, yes, but there has to be a first.
But
Okay.
And
Mitchell,
they were the first.
yeah.
They weren't the first neighborhood.
No.
They had like an
master
HOA.
plan community.
No, but he had it so envisioned out. He had this huge of how the community was going to look.
Okay.
And
With
how
the
I
mix
feel,
of
I
commercial
feel like
and
Dallas Fort Worth has
industrial.
that. Like Houston does not have that.
It's like a mini city inside of a city. So you think about a neighborhood, it's all just zoned residential.
Okay.
You know, and you've got houses and that's it. But with a master plan community, you've got things like commercial, residential, light industrial, and you've got your parks and everything. It's all planned out, and they have growth in different phases. And
See, I didn't know that. I learned a
whatnot.
lot though. It sounded really cool. It's right by your neighborhood
Well,
on the other side of the.
but Mitchell said, I'm going to stake out land so that I'm going to give these to churches, because if I build a church, I mean, people can come and build their church there. I'll give them the land, and the people will come. And so that was how his main focus on how to get to grow the community was to make
And he
sure.
promised no homeless people.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, the first places he built was like a summer camp, and it was, and Sam
full
and I,
of homeless people.
Sam and I came out here
okay.
to try and find a place to live because we heard that the Woodlands this was going to happen, and we started going to the places where they were horrible. The houses hadn't been built yet. This was like it was strange. It was really a strange place. But anyway, but later when I was working with a television company, we started interviewing Mitchell for, all the things that he was doing in the Woodlands. And the Woodlands was cool, but now it's so much construction. It's so crowded.
It's a busy place. So
Oh
when
my
we were looking for
goodness.
homes there,
Wait, do you live
Years
in the
ago.
Woodlands?
I do. When we were looking for homes there, I think it was a Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, and it was our first introduction to the place. We're like, oh, look at this quaint little village. We had no idea what a bustling metropolis it can become, and so we had no idea that just one, it was that big and that subject to traffic and congestion. It's a busy place. I mean, you have that mall and a lot of commerce right out there by the interstate.
Right.
It brings in people from all over. It's not just
Right.
people from the Woodlands that shop there. Unless you go several miles in, you're liable to find less people from outside the Woodlands. But it's you want to get from I-45 to just to the other side of the Woodlands, it could take you half an hour in traffic. Going east to west or west to east, basically.
Oh yes, I lived there for about 17 years, and then
They named a village after you.
No, that's when the cult leader killed himself, unfortunately. So that she had to move out.
I'm not aware of this story. This is amazing.
they've
This is the banter. See, this is the banter that I would see and hear when I was listening to your show all these months ago, and I said, I gotta have a show with that guy.
Yeah. She didn't drink the Kool-Aid. She refused. She's like, I hate strawberries.
What's funny is when I told him I had an idea for a show for Audience of One at that time, it wasn't Audience of One. When I had this idea for a show, I did follow up in a later text saying, by the way, I mean with you, because I don't have a co-host. I don't know if you remember that. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I need to do it with somebody, and I don't have anybody. So that's going to be you. I must have caught him at just the right time.
It is so much better to have someone to bounce it off of. That's why
Yeah.
I love
With the
interviewing
occasional
people.
guest. We have
With
the
an occasional guest.
So you're more of a guest-driven show.
Yes.
I've noticed we're not. I mean, we'll have one on every now and again, but ours is just mostly guy banter, and not necessarily guy banter, just banter and craziness.
Are you a hunter?
I am not.
You're not. You've never hunted?
I have, yeah. I
Okay.
come from a family of hunters. My dad and my brother certainly hunt, uncles and cousins and whatnot. But it's something I have done, but it didn't really draw me in.
When
I feel like
exciting?
I feel like there was a reason why you asked me that, though.
I was just wondering.
No, okay.
It puts you in a certain category, but
She wants to know if I'm packing right now. Is basically what it is.
No, I just want to know if he was a hunter.
That's key word. Are you a hunter? Meaning, is this guy packing?
No, if you're a hunter and you live in Texas and you'll get along fine. But
Are you packing?
no, I'm trying to lose that.
No, not a hunter. Have nothing against hunting. That's fine. It's just not for me. I found it relatively boring, I guess.
Do you like popcorn?
Anti-popcorn, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ask
starting
questions.
starting a movement here.
I haven't finished this line of thought though,
Okay,
but
go
I
for
think
it.
that
Yes.
no. So you wouldn't kill Bambi? I mean, you
If
never.
Bambi was asking for it
You were-
or attacking my family, yes, I would.
Are you? You're not old enough to remember that Disney movie. Did you ever see that movie, Bambi?
Yeah, we just established I have adult children, so yeah, I am certainly old enough to have seen Bambi.
I was hoping that y'all would have watched that, and that
I
would,
have. I
that
have seen
really-
Bambi. It was
I
a
mean,
tearjerker.
That was so impressive to me. And when I met my husband, he's like 6 years older than I am, and all his friends were hunters, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they go out and shoot deer. I just can't believe it. He says, I can't believe it either.
They are pretty
Because I
animals.
think that's horrible because I would never shoot Bambi, and that was what everybody would say that didn't want
Yeah,
to go
right.
hunting. But one of his friends finally cajoled him to go out, and he went out, and he shot a deer, and it was he came back like totally different, and I went,
I've taken a life.
yes, and now I'm going to go every other week.
Everything
We're going to go
smells
hunt
differently.
the deer. It's horrible. I mean, I just
Oh, I thought you were going to say he got the taste of blood and now he just
no.
goes and
He
shoots
just kills
everything now.
yeah.
No, he got the taste of being able to shoot a deer, and then you have to rip it open.
Oh yeah, no, that's
How do they
actually
do
probably
that?
the part that was
Ugh.
the most disgusting to me, and that's
Man, you guys are a
probably
bunch
the
of wimps.
part that drew me away from it. Not drew me away, but pushed me away. Was the whole, hey, if you shoot it, you got to gut it and clean it. No, that's gross. I'm good. Thanks.
Here's the thing: if you're going to do that, and then you're going to eat the
Yeah,
meat,
and I don't
that's
eat it.
fine. But all our family, everybody loves venison,
Yeah, and I don't.
except me. I can't.
I-
I can't eat that.
I don't either. Maybe that's part of it. It's just not for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, and they just get so mad.
Oh, I know. They look
And
at me
they
like
try and-
like I have 3 heads. I'm like, dude, it's okay.
Well, they
It's
try and
not a
fool
big deal.
me, and they make spaghetti with venison, and then they go, "Here, eat this." And
You know it
they know I
immediately,
love
don't you?
spaghetti, and I said, "It was made with venison," and they have to tell me the truth. I said,
Oh
but
no, they
try
can't.
it.
They can't
try.
push it past me. I know. And the thing is, if I don't, then I don't care. It's not like I have this thing where I won't eat it. It's just if I can smell it and taste it, I'm not gonna do it.
Bunch of wimps.
I love it. Shut up.
Dude, it's
Do you-
just taste has nothing to
do you
do
love
with anything
venison?
else.
Yeah, if it's prepared
This guy.
correctly.
Oh, never mind.
Well,
What?
I forget this is an audience of one. Never mind. I was just gonna make a really crude comment. Never mind.
call that number we're going to give you. Call Dennis O'Connor, and
So, Cindy's audience, you definitely need to check out the show. That's all. If you're wondering what kind of banter we have, you'll just have to check out audience.
I like
of
to
One.
describe it to people as if you got nothing going on, just put it on.
yeah,
Because it's
And
not,
even if you do, put it on.
if you're riding down the freeway and you're going from the Woodlands to Waverly, put it on and listen to y'all.
Subscribe. We're on Apple. and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
we're on all kinds of podcasts.
Right. We have so many platforms.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous. It's so
Cindy
decentralized.
doesn't even know her show's on podcast.
What?
You didn't even know your show's on a podcast.
Well, I knew it
She's-
was on podcast.
She's a radio woman.
You don't see me on that, so I never watch it. So
Right. Yeah, it's just audio.
yeah, it's
Actually, it's funny. That's how she fell. She was watching,
Watching herself on the phone?
herself on her phone.
Kerplunk. And there went
And
the
then,
dog.
you know why the sad part of the story is her phone died within an hour of her 6-hour trip, and so she was just crying that she couldn't watch herself,
Imagine being that dog, though.
and she didn't even want to use the phone to call anybody.
yeah.
She's
yeah.
like, I got been binge watching the Cindy Cochran show. I can't stop.
I've
Look
got
at me.
one more.
Watch when
hour.
I administer this line right here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look, that's such a good interview. Such a good interview. Look at me how I sign. I'm signed so 100% correctly here.
I signed on Tuesdays. I was going to just dedicate that to having.
I've seen a
Okay,
few where
saw-
you.
okay.
Mhm.
But
done
it
that.
got so difficult
Yeah, I can imagine.
finding everybody.
would've
that-
thought?
Who would have thought that?
Would you like to come in during our show and sign the whole time we're doing our
what I
show?
love is
That'd be perfect.
Cindy's like, I want to do this. I go, that sounds really great. I think it's a really neat idea, but you're not going to be able to find somebody every Tuesday
That's deaf.
that's deaf, and it's like it's just not going to happen.
We
And
did it
look
for
what
a month.
happened. Yeah, and
We-
then that's what happened.
We got through
You found a
month.
month's worth of deaf people.
That's right, and we can replay that over and over and over again every time. No, it's but that's really about what we finally did, trying to get people to be able to be on. But all the interpreters are working, and so they can't come on. And then the
No
deaf
one signs
people-
for fun anymore. They're always working.
And I have
That's
to
very
have
true.
A reverse interpreter.
I'm sorry, what?
I can sign, but I want a reverse interpreter for the person that is the guest that's deaf, and he's going to sign because everybody signs a
Oh,
little bit different.
I
So I
get
need
you.
a reverse interpreter for them to let me know what they're saying. And
I still
so,
don't understand what that means because I was like, what's the point of you signing then? Why don't you just talk to the interpreter and he'll sign to the guest? Like I was like, well, what's the whole purpose of
Because
it?
it's called reverse interpretation.
it's yes, and
Otherwise, it's just interpretation.
Well, no, I'm saying the way she described it to me was
Just to be difficult.
I was like, why don't you just talk to the interpreter then? And then that interpreter goes to the deaf person.
But then on the way back, it's reverse, right?
no. See, I'm signing. I'm asking the questions, and I'm
Yes.
signing to the person. They understand my question, what I'm signing. If they don't, they may look over at him and go, "What's she saying?" And so I have to sign that again.
Happens.
which is all the time.
But I was.
What are we doing here?
I never believe her when she's signing too because she does it so casually. And I'm like, did you say 100 words there? Or
Did you
was
just
that
make that up?
Yeah, it's like,
You know what
you're
this
talking
means?
really fast.
You know what this means?
I see you.
No, I doubt you. I doubt everything you're
Wait,
telling me.
wait, I don't see your thumb. Sorry, I didn't see. You're doing this.
No, not that. No,
You're doing this,
I'm doing
like
this.
bunny ears.
That means I need.
Yeah, and it's
that means I
coming
need
out
my
of your eyes.
inhaler.
Yes. No, you're. It's coming out of your eyes, and you don't believe what
Okay.
you're saying, what you're hearing. So, anyway, let's get back to
All right.
Andrew.
Serious talk.
Andrew,
Yes.
tell me how do you see your show in 5 years?
Probably in all record. This is an interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably all recorded because I highly doubt we'll be doing it in 5 years. We may not even be doing it in 2 weeks. No.
What? When? Why?
No, where do I see it in 5 years? I honestly don't. Yeah, I take it week to week. It's funny because I think I said this before the show started that I typically only listen to the show right after it's recorded, make sure that there's no craziness, it's all seamless, or
Right.
I wasn't talking on a hot mic, which has happened before, or Dick throws out a cuss word, which has happened before. I usually listen to it once, but what I did a few weeks ago was actually go back and listen to some of our early shows and then skipped a few months to here, and it's interesting to see how the show has evolved, right? Because we didn't know what the heck we're doing. I know it's shocking to believe this or not, but I'm not a radio broadcaster. And so we were just winging it. But over the months of doing the show and getting to know each other and the dynamic of the show, I think it's gotten to be a lot better. So where do I see it in 5 years? I have no idea. But I imagine it's going to continue to evolve in some way, shape, or form that I can't probably see right now or even foresee.
I just want if Richard promises you that you're going to be the first show that gets not what is it when you take a show and you put it out there? Syndication. You're going to be the first show syndicated
Okay.
off of his radio show. Just That's what he told me in 2012.
Would I do it? Is that what you're asking? If he told me that, would I believe him? Would I do it?
Yeah, would you believe him?
I
I just didn't know if he told you that to try and get you on.
No, remember, I was begging him to get on
Yeah,
here.
that's right. He was reverse begging.
Yeah,
you.
reverse begging. I wouldn't believe him.
Me that?
I wouldn't believe it.
You said you're going to be the first show that I syndicate. I'm sure.
I said it's because your topics are so open ended. Because I can put your show on if anyone asks, I can put it on.
Well, and so
I didn't say I was going to do that.
It has the potential to be. Right.
No. I just remember saying that, and I thought that was so cool. And then, of course, I forgot about it in about 2 weeks. I forgot that you even said that. But then
I never said that.
I thought that
Like,
you
I-
said that.
Prove
That's
it.
what I
Prove
heard.
it.
Yeah.
It was through this filter that I heard. That I heard that you said that. Did you
No.
want to?
I said your show is eligible for it because your topics are so wide that anyone, if someone reached out, will put it on their radio station if they want to. Cause
Yeah. But you sell it to them, though, right? I mean, you sell them.
probably not.
Well, that scares me even more.
Come on, man. This is a business opportunity right here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little different because we're a nonprofit now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like there are a lot of nonprofit radio stations out there that we would just share stuff. Like
Yeah.
today we had our veteran show is a show produced up in, I think, Washington, D.C. Mission Matters.
oh, really?
Yeah, Wreaths Across America. You heard of them?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they have their own radio programming, and so they reached out, and I was like, well, this show fits really well with our veterans programming.
Right.
Can we run that? And he's like, yeah, and he sends it to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
You want me to reach out and be like, we have the Cindy Cochran show that has nothing to do with veterans,
Nothing to
and
do
you
with
can just run it.
Yeah, and it will make everybody feel better about themselves and that.
Well, now I need to contact that app y'all use at your house.
Really?
Yeah, because we can have them subscribe to the Cindy Cochran show
Just play it throughout people's houses.
when they go to sleep.
Yeah.
Helps them sleep.
It helps them go to sleep.
Yeah, it's the white noise, right? It's the white noise app.
Yes.
And then the alarm will be audience of one.
Honey, can you switch it from airplane to Cindy Cochran show? I need to go to sleep.
That's right. That's right. Oh,
I need to hit that REM real hard
Yeah.
today.
Thank you.
That Ambien isn't helping.
Right.
I understand.
You heard it here. Cindy
It's okay.
Cochran, stronger than Ambien.
That's because all they hear of me is laughing and going, Richard, stop, shut up.
There is a certain
Richard."
percentage of the show that is that, I will admit.
Yes. Yeah.
I got a question for Andrew.
Oh, boy.
Andrew travels sometimes for work.
I do,
And I
yes.
was listening to some other shows.
How dare you?
And a lot of people were talking about just popping Ambien, just going on a plane. And I was like, isn't Ambien like a knockout drug?
I mean, you're asking me what Ambien is?
Well,
I don't,
you go on airplanes.
Yeah, but I don't
so,
sleep
like,
on
do people
airplanes,
really need to take
unfortunately.
I mean,
I have
like,
no idea.
They were talking like, oh, we're going New York Ambien.
So so I don't know much about it, but what I do know is that it's not like, it knocks you out for an hour or two and then you wake back up and you're alert. Isn't it supposed to be for an entire night's
yeah.
sleep? And then if you do wake up,
Right.
you're in some sort of Tiger Woods incident where you're running through someone's yard with your pants down at your ankles. Right?
That sounds fun.
Or did I combine two
No,
stories
I
there?
think
I don't know,
there's
but
two
no,
stories.
I
The only Ambien story
Well,
I know
I've heard
is
that
the
people
Roseanne.
lose their mind,
Remember
you know?
Roseanne?
They
That's
wake
what she
up and
blamed
there's-
her thing on.
Ambien?
She was on Ambien.
Yes, when she made all of her
tweeting on.
Yeah, exactly, because they're kind of half asleep and half awake, and
But yeah,
and
when,
so-
when they were saying that, I was
I
like,
wouldn't
they just
imagine
popped. It's like,
doing that.
oh, don't worry, we're going on an airplane. Everyone take their Ambien.
Oh.
I mean, maybe if it's like a flight across the world where you're going to be flying in the air for 13 hours or something. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Let's put it that way. And no, I don't do Ambien or any sleeping drug. I
Well,
thank
I
God
want-
sleep well.
I want to talk about
goodness.
your mom.
No, okay.
What's your mom's name?
Wow. My
How old
mom.
is she?
Yeah, this is awfully personal. Here's a couch to lie on. Tell me about your father.
Tell me about your. No,
Well,
what
did
is
you
your
know
mom's?
this-
I just want to know what your mom's name was. I'm not going to say anything.
Mom's name is Kay.
Kay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. Kay.
I'm sure she's
Is
listening.
it like every kiss
Begins with,
begins with K?
Yes.
which is a brilliant tagline, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Kay, you have a wonderful son. I mean, you did wonders with this guy.
Continue.
I want to know how you have so much energy. What would she feed you for breakfast?
So my mom, I'm really fortunate. She was a wonderful cook. I think she may have even dabbled at some point in catering earlier in her her life. But I was really fortunate and exposed to a lot of really good homemade food that probably as a child I didn't appreciate, and would even say, oh, I don't want to eat this. But later on, looking back on it, I was exposed to a lot of different things, which I think gives me a fairly robust palate, right? So I was really fortunate in that case. Breakfast, though, I mean, if we're talking about getting out of the house for school and stuff, I don't know that she would prepare breakfast usually, but dinners for sure. I mean, it was always, we were around the family table at night and with a home cooked meal. So I was really, really fortunate there.
Don't you feel that makes a big difference?
That's how I got to be so tall.
Well, that's not how he raised his kids.
Yeah,
Do
if it doesn't
TV
come out of a
dinners-
box, I'm not serving it to my
TV
kids.
dinners and Ambien.
That's right.
I'm trying to find out, how do you have so much energy? Do you?
Well,
do
I'm
you
in
work
front
out?
of them. I do exercise.
out?
Yeah, I do. But
I don't.
That's like something you ask somebody at a bar, right?
yeah,
Do
no,
you work out?
I do. But I'm in front of a mic right now.
I usually
I'm-
ask, my opening question at a bar is, are you clean?
Yeah, are you positive? No, so I'm on
Are
I'm
you
on the
negative?
air, so I'm energetic now. But as soon as this mic goes off, I'm going to pull back out
ready
my
for a
Dragon
nap?
Ball Z, and I'm going to finish my lunch and be probably fairly comatose for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's the
that's-
only downside
That's true.
to a bowl full of noodles.
I mean, would you like for me to tame it down a little bit, bring it down?
No, I love your energy. I think it's great. That's wonderful. I love seeing that.
Thank you, Cindy.
So
Well, it's 2:48, so Cindy's like, "Where's my brownie?" My
I
afternoon
definitely don't have the
brownie.
NPR personality. I have a personality that's suited for the audience of one show, no doubt.
Subscribe, podcast, YouTube.
That's right.
Audience of One Show with Andrew and Richard.
I
Or
really
email us.
enjoy the NPR people. They're very concise.
You can't be excited if you work there.
Right.
No,
Like no one can be excited.
I'm like, and no one really talks like that either.
no, they
I
all
have to talk really breathy.
Yes, everyone does.
And now fresh
Even the
air.
guys talk real breathy.
Yeah, which is
Oh,
uncomfortable.
Sure. And
It's probably because they all smoke cigarettes and they don't want people to know.
They're all
and
out
be
of breath.
Shamed.
no, but that is. I just listen to it just for the amusement of it. To listen to them talk about subject matters that they should be very passionate about.
Right.
But you could never. There's no passion.
That's
there's
why I listen to
nothing
Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's passionate, all right.
He's passionate.
Yes, he is. Yes,
a lot of
he
things.
is. He certainly is. That's perfect. I've got to tell you,
Yes.
you'll just be so interested in this. Thursday,
Okay.
the 13th.
Okay.
The
This is
reason
news
he's
to
doing
me.
that, I have.
Do you need another guest spot? Is that what this is about to be? So, by the way, what are you doing on Thursday?
No, tomorrow we need another guest spot. Could you change your voice and just come in and go through it?
Well,
go
funny
through-
thing about Andrew
Move on.
is recently,
What happened?
well, in June he came out
He came out
As a radio host.
as a radio host.
Oh,
Thank you
He
for
got me pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, look, I got to tell you something. I'm actually a real broadcaster.
Oh, you were hitting on me
Yeah.
originally. Okay.
Oh my goodness!
love it.
All right, no Thursday.
Yeah,
We're getting up
Thursday.
against the clock here. So
So-
Thursday, what's going on?
Thursday, I want to promote this, and you
Well, it's your
help
show.
me.
You can do whatever you want.
My sister, and I believe in nepotism.
And she's going to be here in person, right?
Yes, in person.
That's
she's gonna
awesome.
Be here.
She always calls in.
And we're going to need one of those child things. She's only 4'11".
Oh,
She's
goodness.
this tall. And
Right up Dick's alley.
she's a CPA. She goes up against all the IRS people that are packing guns and everything. They're just
Oh, my.
So she's a terror to them. They're scared of her when she
yeah.
comes in.
Imagine her
and-
line of sight with a pistol. She's 4'11".
So
Some
she-
vitals involved there, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but she has been. This is her 63rd year of doing taxes, and so she knows all of it. She knows all the secrets. She knows all where the bodies are buried and all that. But she won't tell us. But she's gonna be on. She's great.
Yeah,
Helps
Cindy's
us.
first
She
boyfriend, never found.
loves- Yeah,
She's great.
and she helped me out of that one. But no. Anyway,
He's
so
no-
she
He's
is
no
gonna
good
be-
for you, Cindy. He hits you. Makes you drink Boone's Farm. Did you drink Boone's Farm when you were young? What was like the choice of drink back in those days?
I thought you meant like before the show.
Yeah.
More
Cindy
specific.
doesn't drink at all. I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, what were your friends drinking?
They were drinking Everclear, and they were drinking.
Oh,
Oh,
my
nice.
gosh.
They were drinking gin, vodka.
I didn't think Everclear was actually meant to be drunk. I thought it was just to light things on fire.
To poison you. No, Everclear, but Everclear is a...
I thought you're supposed to clean with it.
Right.
No, look at Everclear, because that is a liquor, right?
Of course, yes.
It's grain alcohol.
Yes, it's 100
Grain
proof.
alcohol, yeah.
Or more than that. It's 100, 100 proof.
I was
Something
in a
like
show. And
We should have some.
they put it in my Dr. Pepper and gave it to me because they were trying to. I was coughing and I said, "Does anybody have anything? Water? Give me water." They said, "Get her something to drink." So they went in the back and they got Everclear, and they said, "This is as good as water." And they put it, and then I drank that and got so giggly and so happy through the thing. I said, "Wow!" I said, "That's all I need. I wasn't hydrated. I just need to be hydrated."
This is great. I'm drunk now.
And then I found out what they put in there, and I'd
take
never
much.
heard of it. I don't know how much they.
It doesn't take
Terrible.
much.
Yeah, so
it doesn't take much.
It by your weight and stuff, but right, doesn't it make a difference if you're
It does.
heavier?
It does.
It takes a while to
Male, female, weight, all these things play into how much alcohol you can.
That's Thursday.
Your body can filter at one time.
We're having some grain and some sister time.
Thursday, sister's going to be here, and I haven't seen her in so long, and this is going to be so exciting.
Yeah, you have a little date, don't y'all?
Then we're going as soon as the show's over. We're going to the Marriott. Then we're going to go to the movies, and we're going to go out to the. There's a park. Do you know what the park's name is? It's right outside Market Square.
Town Green Park?
Market Square in the Woodlands. In the Woodlands.
Yeah, you're talking about. I thought it was called Town Green Park in Houston.
Anyway, they have a.
What's that park called? I know what you're talking about. Right there by the lake.
It's by the pavilion,
Right.
On the opposite side of the pavilion.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side of the
Doesn't
pavilion. But Samantha's going to perform there with this guy named Anthony Pitt.
I bet that's going to be a good show.
And
Is that
so-
like a free show for everybody? Like
for everybody can go. So
Yeah, Samantha's a really good singer.
so we're going to try and get her.
She sung at my wedding.
Yeah, he didn't.
Friendly
even,
reminders
you
everywhere,
didn't know
every
that
day.
was my daughter, and they do showcases, and then you choose who you want to sing at your wedding. And he chose.
I
my
did. Well, I
daughter.
told him not to show anyone else. I was like, I like her. She's good.
He wanted to leave. He was sick of it. But anyway, and then he found out that said, "Did your daughter sing with the Royal Dukes?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "She's gonna sing at my wedding." Did I get invited to the wedding? No, but I don't hold that against.
Yeah,
him at
no
all.
hard feelings or nothing.
No, not at all.
No one. I wasn't allowed to invite anybody.
I gotta call her. I gotta call her. Anyway, so she'll be out there entertaining. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to the show. We're gonna go see Samantha, and then we'll be back.
That's Thursday. So it'll be you
This
and me
Thursday.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you and me tomorrow.
That's wonderful.
And you can ask us anything. If you want to go on to my Facebook, you can ask
There you
the
go.
questions. It'll be great. And I want to say this to the first responders. We love you. We respect you. We think that you're amazing. You're running into it. We're running away from it. And you are so brave. Thank you so much for all that you do. And we love you, but God loves you more. Okay, we're going to say goodbye.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.